Listen, we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this.
Oh my God, he broke it. He stepped on it. Yo! What the? Let's watch the full Trump interview with Meet the Press, where he basically walked away because he's a.
Morning. Today marks 100 days since the United States launched the first strikes against Iran. Midterm pressures are growing with no clear end to the war in sight. On Friday, President Trump took his case to rural
Can't believe you're getting mogged.
in Chippewa
Yeah, I
Falls,
am.
Wisconsin. At the invitation of the White House, we joined him at Custer Farms and had a wide-ranging interview that was unfortunately interrupted multiple times by the stormy weather overhead. President Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We are going to talk about your visit while you're here in Wisconsin, but I'd like to start off by talking about the major issue that you are focused on every day, which is Iran. Sunday will mark 100 days since the first strikes. Your Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said that the war had concluded. And yet just this week, Iran attacked U.S. allies in the region, calling it retaliation for a set of U.S. airstrikes. Is the United States at war with Iran?
Well, they've been largely decapitated, and I call it a military exercise because people would rather have it called that. It's not a big war for us. It's not.
He looks like absolute dog. How does he seemingly get worse every time we see him?
We have the most powerful military in the world. I built it, frankly. I built it in my first 4 years, and I'm using it a little bit in my second 4 years. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone. They might have built it up a little bit over the last 4 weeks during this little ceasefire that we did at the request of some very good people, very, very fine people from, actually from numerous places, as you know. You know, there are a lot of people involved, but from Pakistan in particular, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. And we're very close to having a deal, and if we don't have a deal, we'll do it one way or the other. Either way, we win.
I do want to talk about the terms of any potential deal in just a moment, but let me just follow up with you. You did post on social media just this week, my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. There is a naval blockade in place, which technically is an act of war under international law. So is this a war as long as there's a naval blockade in place?
Well, we have a blockade. It's been extremely effective. And the reason we have it is they try to blockade, and now we blockaded them. And as you know, they're losing $400 to $500 million a day. It's not sustainable for them. They have an economy that's shot in addition to everything else. Their leaders are gone. Their generals are gone. Their first tier and second tier are gone. Much of their third tier is gone. But they put up a blockade, and so we blockaded them, and we have the ultimate blockade. I don't consider that a war, but if you want to define it as such, I guess you can.
Well, how do you define it?
I don't define it at all. I don't think about it. I just do what I have to do.
If you're not specifically calling it a war, would you consider sending some of the troops who are stationed there, who were sent because of Operation Epic Fury there home? No, would you consider sending them home if it's not technically a war?
We don't need as many troops. I think you just like.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. She's unironically doing a good job. I don't know how. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, if my ears are hearing the wrong information, but so far, so good. She's 2 for 2, which now makes me realize exactly why he left by the end of this interview, because if she keeps up this energy for like the next 10 minutes, this thing is going to fall off the rails, okay? If it's not a war, will you pull out the troops? Great question.
Like it's on the, to err on the side of caution. We have a lot of people there. They're very safe. You know, if you think we beat Venezuela, we lost nobody. We took over the whole country. We lost nobody. We have a great relationship, by the way, with Venezuela.
Steyer Bros, it might be Styover. From Vote Hub, Wingcast update. Hilton's chance of advancing in California's governor's race rose from 85% to 93% after Steyer again fell short of his needed marks on Saturday. The aggregate drops were roughly as expected, but with more votes in, uncertainty is shrinking, and Hilton remains clearly favored.
Venezuela is doing very well, but we lost nobody. We've lost 13 people here, and that's a lot. 13 people too many. But if you look at Vietnam, where hundreds of thousands of people were killed. If you look at any one of the last 7 or 8 wars where many, many people were killed, we lost 13. And again, 13 is too many. I don't want to lose any. But 13 is less than anybody's ever even envisioned. I think we're doing a great job.
But so are you saying you would consider sending some of the troops home, sir? Some of the 50,000?
He's like, 13's nothing, bro. I kill 13 troops and forget about it. That's kind of crazy because wasn't that the rallying cry for Joe Biden? How he allowed 13 troops to die when they were exiting Kabul? Kabulgate? Literally, that was the whole thing. Remember when conservatives would put they would pour beers, empty beers, 13 of them? They would say 13 of our best. And Benghazi too, but Benghazi is, nobody gives a shit about Benghazi anymore. But yeah, Hillary with Benghazi, Joe Biden with the 13 of our best troops dying in Kabul. Meanwhile, Donald Trump literally is like, yeah, 13 of them died. Who cares? Who gives a L for them. If they knew how to duck and dodge, they would have been able to survive the Iranian drones. I like my war heroes who don't die to the Shahed drones. That's right, they're losers. They failed me. They should have.
Troops who were sent there as a part of Operation
I would
Epic
say
Fury?
this, it cost us very little to keep them there. I don't consider them in danger. We have the best defense anyone's ever seen. We have the best offense anyone's ever seen. So I don't consider it danger. I would say it would be foolhardy to do that because maybe we may use them. It's unlikely, but I think we'll keep them there until such time as we have a completion. And when we have a completion, you will see things like you've never seen. The oil will go down. The stock market already, as you know, it's hit an all-time high. Even in the midst of it, it hit all-time highs.
Yeah, look. Funny because this is what he said about the 13 service members killed during the withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. This is the 3rd anniversary of the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Gross incompetence, 13 dead American soldiers, hundreds of people wounded and dead. Americans have billions of dollars of military equipment left behind. You don't take our soldiers out first, you take them out last when all else is successfully done. Russia then invaded Ukraine, Israel was attacked, and the USA became and is a laughing stock all over the world. Fake news media remains silent in order to protect the worst administration in the history of our country, MAGA 2024. Back then, it was 13 of our best. Now it's 13 of our worst because Trump killed them.
73 all-time highs in a short period of time that I've been in office, which is a record, by the way. And, we're doing very well. But the main thing is we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Can't do it.
What is
and we won't do it.
Yeah, you just referenced the 13 Americans who were killed. And I want to know what your red line is. What would trigger you to restart military action? Would it be Iran killing more American citizens?
Well, certainly that would be something that I would think about very seriously. But
my God.
Red line would be.
Oh, my God. He literally is not even committing to restarting the war if American soldiers or civilians get killed. Oh my God. Oh, he's so cooked. Yo, he won't even posture. He won't even posture. God damn. Like I said, and I will keep repeating this, the IRGC is the most powerful anti-Trump, the most successful anti-Trump force on the planet currently. It's not the Democratic Party. Straight up, it's the IRGC. Perhaps more powerful than even China, honestly.
If I think I wasn't going to make a deal or if I wasn't going to make a deal fast enough. So we're having very good negotiations with the people that are leading the country now. It's the 3rd group that we've been dealing with, and they are different. And you could say it's regime change, actually, because these are very different people. I find them to be more rational, very smart.
Who is that? Who's leading the country?
Well, I don't want to go into names, but you know who they are. I mean, they're leaders. They're respected. Respected by the people that have to respect them. They are calling the shots. We know that because we see it through various tests that we've given. It's a little bit strange because you have leaders that have been there for a long time and they get wiped out. Then you have leaders that you also know, the 2nd tier, and they get wiped out. All of a sudden, we're dealing with different people. But no, I think that we'll either have something done fairly quickly or we'll finish it out militarily.
Are you talking about the son of the supreme
Well, he's
leader?
a part of it, yes.
He has not been seen in public. What is his
but
status? Have you talked to him directly?
I do believe they have great respect for him. I see it. I mean, they want to get his concurrence. They've said to me, they've said to others that they're looking for approval, and he is part of the approval process, absolutely.
Have you spoken to him directly? You
I have
said you
not.
want to meet with him.
No, I have not. I would if he'd like to, but I have not spoken to him directly.
Do you know where he is?
I will tell you, they do.
How he is?
Yeah. They do pay homage to him. I would tell you if they didn't. They seem to, based on what I see, they seem to respect him a great deal.
Do you know where he is? Do you know how he is doing physically?
I don't want to say whether or not I know where he is, but there's a good probability that I do.
Is he inside Iran?
I'd rather not say that.
Okay, he is the son of the last supreme leader,
Yeah.
who was obviously a hardliner. Is this younger Khomeini any better for the United States than his father was?
Younger, I think more rational, injured. It's pretty.
Gay. Happy Pride Month. I have it on good authority that he's gay. Not me, though. I'm not. I just like Andrew Lloyd Webber. That's not gay. Broadway musicals are beautiful. They used to be until woke killed it.
Badly injured. So there's a certain bravery there. A lot of people, if they were injured that badly, they wouldn't be talking about, how we doing with the United States. They'd have other things on their mind. So there's a certain bravery there. But he is very seriously injured, yeah.
I think it's really funny that this guy is talking about like how gravely wounded and injured other foreign governments' heads of state are. Dude, you literally look like death itself. It's actually remarkable how much the MAGA cult refuses to recognize how wounded Trump looks. Trump sincerely looks like a wounded bird all the time. He looks like a melting wax puppet. Look at him.
What is the status of talks exactly in this moment? How close are you to making a deal? Are we talking about days, weeks, months, Mr. President?
I think we're very close. We have a couple of points. They don't even seem like big points. They've conceded the fact that they will not have nuclear weapons. We had a clause in there that we will not develop nuclear weapons, and everybody was very happy with it except me. And I said, well, what happens if they not develop, but they go out and purchase, they acquire? I want to put the word, if they buy or purchase or acquire, you've got to have that in there too, because that's not developing. So they don't have the right to develop or purchase, acquire, or buy.
Have they pushed back against that? Is that one of the sticking points?
A little bit, and then they didn't.
Okay. You have been saying for months, Mr. President, that Iran is begging to make a deal.
True.
If they are so desperate to make a deal, why haven't they made a deal with you yet?
Because it's a very hard thing for them. They've had great independence. They've dealt with very weak and ineffective leadership on behalf of the United States and other countries, frankly, that allowed them to get away with murder. And I think they can't believe they're in the situation where they've been virtually decapitated.
But if they're so desperate, Mr. President, why haven't they said yes to the terms you're proposing?
Strong.
Yeah, it's just wait, so they're strong, but they're weak. They're strong, but they're weak. Let's see where he goes with this.
They're proud. There are things they never.
I like that he's doing the enemy is both weak and strong at the same time. Like he's doing this at the Meet the Press. He's not even spacing it out. Nope. Immediately contradicting yourself. Got it.
Thought they'd be doing that they're going to have to do. They've got no choice. And it takes a little while. You're talking about 47 years of getting away with whatever they wanted. I mean, this should have been done long ago. This should have been done by other presidents or other countries. It doesn't have to be us, other countries. But they were very close to having a nuclear weapon twice. That was when I terminated the Iran nuclear deal, which was a path. That deal, the JCPOA, that deal was tantamount to giving them a nuclear weapon. It was a horrible deal given by Barack Obama and really penned by him. It was a horrible deal. It was, it expired long ago. I terminated it. But had I not terminated it, it expired long ago. It was a short-term deal. It was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have had a nuclear weapon 5 years ago.
But Mr. President, I'm curious because when you were
literally they went back to the process of enriching uranium because Donald Trump added additional sanctions onto Iran after destroying the JCPOA for no reason other than the fact that he's Israel's puppy. And after all of that, Nick Fuentes literally still did a January 6th. After all that, just remember that. Sometimes it's important to remember that because, like, his fans will be like, you don't understand. He's been anti-Semitic for decades. He's actually been so consistent on this. It's like, okay. And then he promoted the most pro-Israel president of all time, Donald Trump. And not only that, but also participated in a failed insurrection at the behest of that pro-Israel president, Donald Trump. Something to think about. Even now when he's like, oh, I'm hot and cold. I'm hot and cold. Kind of feels like he just hates Jews. He doesn't really mind Israel all that much, regardless of what he says. And that the hatred of Israel is secondary for him. It's just an opportunity for him to normalize Jew hatred in general, you know?
Campaigning, you said you would rip up the Iran nuclear deal, but negotiate a better deal.
That's
Why
what I'm
didn't you
doing.
negotiate a better deal at the time? Because after it was ripped
It
up,
doesn't go
there
that
weren't
fast.
guardrails and they
Excuse-
escalated their
excuse
production
me.
of enriched uranium.
Excuse me. It takes years to do these things. These people have been fighting for 47 years. They've been killing Americans. They've been taking off their legs and their arm, and their faces have been hurt so badly and so horribly. I'm moving very fast. I'm into 3 months. You know, Vietnam lasted 19 years. I'm into my 3rd month, and all I do is say, whoa, when are you going to win? If I were a Democrat, nobody would be talking that way, but it doesn't matter to me. I've gotten so used to it. Look, we have totally destroyed their military. They have some missiles
Totally.
left. They have some drones left.
Do you know how many missiles?
Yes, exactly.
How many?
I don't want to tell you.
Can you give me a
But
ballpark?
they have some left. No, but I know almost to the number, and we know where they are too. And we know where their drones are, and we know where their drone factories are. Most of the drone factories have been knocked out. Most of the launching pads have been knocked out, and most of the missile manufacturing areas have been knocked out. But they still have capacity. They have some missiles. They have some drones. I would say percentage-wise, maybe 21, 22% of their missiles. It's a lot of missiles, but it's not what it was when we first attacked.
So you're saying they have 21, 22% of their missiles left?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Let's talk about what specifically you are demanding as a part of this short-term deal. Will the United States agree to a deal with Iran that doesn't explicitly and immediately give up its nuclear enrichment program on the front end?
Well, you know, depending on when you say immediately, look, it is buried under mountains because our B-2s were incredible. The pilots of our B-2s were unbelievable. And it's buried. They can't get it. The only 2 countries that could take it, that have the equipment to take, you have to understand, 3 mountains have fallen in on them, right? So you understand that because the fake news was going around saying, oh, maybe they didn't hit their target. 1 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, no moon, no nothing, and every one of those bombs went right down those chutes and blew up. They can't get it no matter what. I mean, they can get it, I guess, with years of work. But the only 2 countries that can get it are us and China, because we're the only 2 with the equipment that's capable of doing that kind of work. And it would take weeks of digging. So the answer is, yeah, we're going to do it immediately. We're going to start looking very quickly, and we'll do it with them. If we make a deal,
With
we'll
China.
do it with them. No, we're going to do it with the Iranians. So if we make a deal, that means we'll be friendly. We'll do it with the Iranians. If we don't make a deal, we may do it, or we may just watch it. You know, we have cameras on it all over it. If anybody walked there, if you walked over there, I would be able to read your first name on your lapel. And these are cameras up in space. It's pretty amazing technology. Space Force. We have cameras all over the site. We know if anybody goes there. If anybody went there, any digging mechanism, any truck, any tractors, anything, anybody went there, we would know. We will take care of it. Is that wind or what?
Is that rain?
He's starting to get scared. He's like, God is punishing me. I knew it was happening. Why are they in a barn? I don't know, dude. I don't know anything anymore. Why do they do anything?
What is
Ambiance.
This will be the first of multiple interruptions due to the weather. Rain hitting the metal roof, making it difficult for both of us to hear each other. So as we're having this conversation, we can hear a little bit of rain.
No, a lot of rain.
A lot of rain. Let me try to get a clear understanding of how the United States would get the nuclear material
Is he gonna hit
out.
this?
You've
What?
called it nuclear dust.
Yeah.
I love when he does that. What? I can't hear you. It's the rain. It's too loud. What?
Will you and would you be open to sending in U.S. forces to retrieve the nuclear stockpile?
So the official name is highly enriched uranium.
Oh, the official name.
And I call it nuclear dust because it seemed to be nice and everyone understands it better and it's sort of cute and people picked it up. But the way you do it is if we make a deal, that now we're friendly, we'll all go together, it'll be our equipment, we'll take it out and destroy it, whether it's on site or whether we take it off site.
So that would require U.S. forces.
Well, that will require, we will have a deal. We'll be friendly. In other words, we will have made a deal. And we will be at peace. And we will go with them or without them. But we won't have people shooting at us, okay? Now, if we don't make a deal, then we're going to take them out militarily, very harshly. And we'll wait till we do that before we go, in which case we'll have safety either way.
Mr. President, I wonder, how long are you willing to give Iran to make a deal? How much longer? You've been talking for quite some time.
That. Well, you really haven't. You were in Vietnam for 19 years. You were in Iraq for many years. You were in Korea for many, many years. You were in all the, I won't even talk about World War II because that was the big one. And we don't want to ever have that. But you were in all these different wars for many years with thousands and thousands of people killed. We've had 13 people killed, which I hate. We've had 13 people killed, and that includes 2 wars. That's Venezuela, and that's Iran.
But do you have a cutoff point
No, but you
in
keep
your
talking
head?
about speed, Kristen. You were in Vietnam for 19 years, and you're telling me about...
So what is it? 18 years and it's still a wrap? It's good? Like, what's the argument, man? 18 years. Talk to me again in 18 years. I'll still be in charge. You already know it, baby. Kirsten, stop with this. He's getting mad, dude. He's getting mad.
And in 3 months, I've demolished the Navy, the Air Force, anti-aircraft. They have no radar. They have no nothing. I demolished their leaders. Their leaders are gone.
Do you know where all of Iran's nuclear material is,
Yes.
sir?
Yes.
Would you unfreeze any Iranian assets or lift any sanctions up front as a part of any
No.
deal? So that would come after
Comes after, yeah. If
they
they behave,
turned
if they do
over
a good
their
job, we
nuclear
start
enrichment
talking, yeah.
material.
Unlike Obama. Obama flew a Boeing 757, a plane I know very well. They took the seats out and they loaded it up with $1.7 billion in cash from the banks in Maryland and Virginia and D.C. They emptied out the banks and they gave them 1.7 in green and they gave them tens of billions of dollars, just kept giving them money and it didn't work.
Would any, again,
That never works,
But
by the
again,
way.
Mr. President, you promised that you were going to negotiate a better deal. Do you
I
wish you'd
haven't.
done it in your first term when you ripped it up at that, before you ripped
No,
up the
they
deal?
weren't ready. No, this is much better. This is much better.
Will
If I
you-
would have done it in my first term, Israel wouldn't have been ready. Hear that sound of thunder, lightning,
Is that going
rain?
to interrupt, guys?
No,
Okay.
people will understand. We're on a farm.
That's true. Will any deal you make include the release of Americans who are being held by Iran?
Well, we talk about it, and we'll see. Nobody really has an accurate list of who they are, what they are, or if they're being held. But if they're, we've been talking about it. Nobody really has a list. You know that, right? You know, you're asking me about, nobody has a list.
But are you demanding a list? Are you demanding to know and saying they've got to come
You're supposed
home?
to give me the list. I mean, do you know people that we're talking about? If you give me the names, I'll do my best to get them
Well,
out.
I don't think that's been reported.
Huh?
I don't think it's all of the people who've been held.
All I'm saying is this.
known.
If you have a list of names, give them to me, and I will get them
But is
out.
it something you talk to them about?
We talk about people if they have them, but nobody...
Noise gate? Anybody? That's got to be crazy amounts of rain, by the way, because the mics are picking up everything, and I'm sure they have a noise gate. That's crazy. Trump is an anti-POW MIA truther. I mean, it's true. It's fake. It's fake bullshit. The POW MIA movement was created for nonsensical purposes to not offer Vietnam reparations. They lied. It's a total lie. It's a total fabrication. So respect the Trump for being a POW MIA truther.
He knows who they are, just like you don't know who they are.
You have openly said you've been frustrated by Israel's continued bombing of Lebanon. Are you and Prime Minister Netanyahu on the same page?
Yeah, we are. We get along very well. We've been great comrades. We did a very, very big number on a certain country that was nothing but trouble for 47 years. I disagree with him on a couple of things.
On Lebanon?
I'd like to see Lebanon have a better life. I'd like to see a more surgical attack on Hezbollah. I think it should be more surgical. And we can help them with that, or we can recommend Syria. Syria is doing a very good job of cleaning up their act. They have a very good leader. They have a leader that's really done a good job in a short period of time, and he would love to help.
Are you demanding that Lebanon be a part of the short-term deal that you're negotiating?
I'm not demanding.
Okay.
I think they'd like to see it, but I'm not demanding.
Okay. I wonder if we should, let me just get a gut check here. Should we pause for 5 minutes and let this pass? I just want to be able to hear everything he said. The rain did not stop, but neither did our interview. When we come back, President Trump on his consistent big picture now, Mr. President. One of your consistent campaign promises was no.
This is you doing interviews in bowling alleys, by the way. Calm down, okay? The one time, I did it one time. Chill out. Completely optional, by the way. I know, they did not have to do this inside of a tin roof farm. I'd be so pissed. I would be so unbelievably pissed if we set up something like this and then weather conditions, just crooked rain, just ruined it. There is something very cozy about the rain, though. I don't know why. I feel like cozy. I feel like I want to like bundle up under some blankies. Imagine with Trump just cuddling with Trump under some blankies, snuggle butt. Just me and the goat. Kind of romantic. LA man reminisces. You ruined it? What do you mean? He's like, yes, caress me more. I feel so safe. I feel so safe in your strong arms. He's going to fart under the blanket and then touch you with his cold ass feet. Oh God. Wait, why is there liberal rain? Oh, how do you do that? How are you raining on Trump? How are you making it rain on Trump? Oh my God, it's raining on me now.
New wars going all the way back to 2015. Did you break that promise
fucked it
to
up.
the American people?
No. I had to stop a country.
Is Trump Big Spoon? No, Trump is Little Spoon. Steve Chung is Big Spoon. I'm in between. I'm sandwich in between. I'd never be cold again with those big hot bodies cuddling in between, sandwiched like an Oreo. Two big bodies. Steve Chung on one side with his big belly on the small of my back, and me offering full spectrum coverage to Trump. 5 most special coverage from the big presidential bed. Bro, I just tuned in. What is this? I'm fantasizing about cuddling with Steve Chung and President Donald Trump. It's Pride Month. We're getting gay with it a little bit.
Very powerful, very dangerous country from having a nuclear weapon because they'd use it. They'd blow up the world. They'd blow up the Middle East. They'd blow up Israel. They'd come here. They'd blow up Europe. They're nuts, okay? They're crazy people. I deal with them. And very high-strung people. Really crazy. And get along with them. I like them, but you don't want to let them have a nuclear weapon. And I'm doing the world a service, but I'm doing our country a service. You know, it's America first. I'm doing our country a service. Nice rain.
It is raining
The more he lies, the more it rains, dude. God is like, nope.
hard. Okay.
Nope.
But the answer is good. Let's just keep going.
Let's keep going.
Let's power through it, right?
Here, we paused nearly 5 minutes for the rain to pass and then picked up our conversation. So you're saying you didn't break your promise, and yet, Mr. President, in your first term, you held to that promise, and it was so fundamental to who you were as a candidate to a first-term president. What changed? Because you insisted no new wars.
First of all, I didn't guarantee no war. Why would I have built the strongest military in the world? I built our military. I inherited a terrible military. We had no equipment. We had nothing. I built a tremendous military. Biden gave a lot of it away, but it's still a relatively small portion compared to what I built.
But you said it over and over again, Mr.
Why would I
President?
build a military? Now, I didn't want to use this, but I'm doing you and everybody else a big favor.
What Kami says, thank you for the 20 gifted subs, and you too can gift subs if you want to support the broadcast. Piker Broadcasting Service, the People's Broadcasting Service, 7 to 6 to 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even on a Sunday, we're still doing news coverage of the Pikers Broadcasting Service, the People's Broadcasting Service. Please subscribe, which you can do for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get one free Prime subscription a month. Neoberg, BB, do not pick up the phone. Pretend to have a sore throat. Wow, these guys are desperate, dude. Why isn't it 8 hours anymore? It is 8 hours sometimes. Sometimes it's 8 hours.
In the midst of the greatest stock market in history, in the midst...
Yeah, I did 11 hours on Tuesday. God damn, dude. Y'all don't deserve me, actually. Y'all don't deserve me. Y'all motherfuckers don't deserve me. Yeah, if we get the hype train to level 10, I'll play Charlie Kirk. Reggae remix. Reggae Charlie Kirk. We're at hype train level 5. Planty Andy, thank you for the 50 bones. No Pride? No, because Iran canceled Pride. Iran canceled Pride Parade on the broadcast.
...of the most successful country, because as you know, in the last term, we were a dead country, Kristen. I know you're a big liberal, we're a big progressive.
No,
but
I'm just a journalist.
We were a dead country. A year ago, a couple of years ago, we were a dead country. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And at the all-time hottest point, which is probably now.
This is a different LGBT event.
Stock market records today. But at the hottest point in the history of our country, I took Scott, Howard, I took Pete, I took everybody into a room. I said, I have to do this country, this world, the Middle East, Israel, everybody a favor. You have Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon.
Hype train,
Barack
level
Hussein
6,
Obama
about to be
signed
7, level 6,
JCPOA.
7.
It was a horrible deal. Horrible deal. Listen to me. It was a horrible deal. It was a...
Wait, Professor Chung mentioned me again?
To focus on 3 different things at once. I can't do that. My mind will go berserk if I did that. So you're absolutely right. Let me figure this out. Let me figure out how to get a moderator in here. And also, maybe next time or maybe a couple months from now, we'll do a Zoom conversation so that each of you will have the opportunity to participate. And then I can just rest, right? Because right now I'm just talking. Again, these streamers like Hasan Piker, Sneeko, my hat's off to them because I don't know how they do this. They do this like 8 hours a day, by the way. Like we might go on for like another hour, but I'm already. It's been half an hour, and I'm already exhausted.
Damn, Professor Chung, not my Professor Chung. Level 7 hype train. We get the level 10, and I'll play Charlie Kirk reggae music. Yeah, unlike you, a true auteur like Professor Chung, aka predicting history, respects the work that I put into this broadcast. Okay, that's right. He understands how tough this is, the stamina required, the operational capacity. Many of you, on the other hand, will be like, man, why only 7 hours? Why not 11 hours every day? Anyway, let's continue.
Path to them getting a nuclear weapon. They were very close to having a nuclear weapon. I terminated the deal. Wait. Then I sent the B-2 bombers in about 9-10 months ago, and they totally obliterated the site.
Level 7 hype train, level 10, and you get Charlie Kirk.
We could let them have a nuclear weapon, or we could go along and have some beautiful days. But they would have, it's a judgment. They would have used the nuclear weapon. And you know what? When people hear that whole scenario, when they hear me say Iran was going to have a nuclear weapon, and they're crazy, they say you're doing the right thing. I don't think it's I mean, you'll do polls because they're all fake polls anyway, especially yours. But you do polls. I just won a big election. And the reason I won an election is people have confidence in me. I have good judgment. I had to make a judgment. Do I want to go along and have a country that's doing really well, but somebody is going to try and kill us? Or do I want to put out that horrible threat? And I did. I put it out. I put it out for many, many years. Now I'm going to put it out permanently. I'm going to do it either through negotiation, where we're very close to a deal, or I'm going to blow the hell out of them.
Almost a level 8 hype train.
And it's going to be very easy for me to do. That's actually the easier path. So when you say I promised, I didn't promise anything. I don't like these endless wars. This is not an endless war. We've been doing this for 3 months. Much of it has been under the form, a pretty good form of ceasefire. The blockade has been amazing. Our Navy is amazing. Our military.
By the way, this is literally why he's okay. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. He understands that he, his audience has no appetite. His base has no appetite for endless wars, I guess. And he doesn't like it either. So he basically has to make it seem like this isn't an unlimited quagmire he launched. So it's like, no, it's not even a real war. It's mostly ceasefire.
Is the best in the world. Hey, we took over a very powerful country, Venezuela, a lot of soldiers, big, strong military. We took over Venezuela in a matter of minutes. We destroyed the capability of Iran in a matter of days. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Now I'm going to finish it. But remember, you were in Vietnam 19 years because stupid people. You were in so many different countries. Every war you were in for years. Look at Iraq. Look what you were. You were there for years. Yeah. We're there for, listen, Kirsten, we're there for a few months. And the threat is largely over. Soon it will be over. But you cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, or they will blow you up. There will be no Kristen. There will be no NBC. There will be no Meet the Press. You will end the Meet the Press string.
Let me ask you, though, during your 2016 campaign, you called the Middle East a quagmire. What makes you so sure this won't become a quagmire?
We're not going to be there.
Kristen, do you not want the Meet the Press? Do you want Meet the Press to continue? Because if not, Iran will blow you. They told me. They said, we don't like Kristen. We don't like Kristen. We don't like her. We need somebody else. We're going to kill her with a nuclear bomb. A nuclear bomb we're going to use on Kristen. Yeah, Meet the Press, more like Meet the Ayatollah. They call it NBC News. Next up, it's gonna be Far's news agency. You know that? It's gonna be Tasnim. No more CNN. It's gonna be Tasnim News Agency. All of that will happen and more if I don't stop Iran from developing a nuclear weapon.
You're convinced
Level 8 hype train, 2 minutes remaining, folks.
Wiped out the military of a very dangerous country.
If you want reggae Charlie Kirk, you know what to do.
Oh, shit.
You know what to do.
Legalize comedy.
And I wiped out the nuclear threat. Let me tell you, if we left tomorrow, if we just said, all right, let's get out, it'll take them 15 or 20 years to rebuild back. But I'm not going to give them even that chance. I'm not going to give them that chance. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if there was even a 1% chance that they'd have it, I wouldn't leave. We're almost finished. We're going to either have a deal, a strong deal, a meaningful deal, not like the Obama thing. Obama was a path to a nuclear weapon. Mine is the exact opposite. And mine is a wall. It's a wall, just like I...
See, once he starts lying, the rain gets worse, okay? You see that? Allah is saying no more. Allah is saying, nope, you're not allowed to lie like this.
May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States.
Subscribe if you like the soundboard.
Built 1,000 miles of wall on our southern border. And
I have to shill now that Alves is cooking my ass with the sub count, dude. They just knocked me off the top 3, which I've been at for years at this point. That's why I'm shilling. That's why I'm shilling, dude. Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Not enough soundboard? Don't worry. I sort of miss when you made the sounds yourself. Do you really think I still don't stim extra hard when I go turbo dirty? Or when I go, am a numbers guy? I know you really like number. I know you like the number. This past interview, I've just done a Donald Trump sound the whole time. Almost at level 10 hype train. We're at level 9. She has 67.8K. She beat Queso. Jesus Christ.
By the way, I took the worst border in history and I made it the best border in history in a matter of weeks.
And yet, Mr. President, Iran was the closest to
I know you like
developing
number.
weapons-grade uranium after you ripped up the nuclear deal because there were no guardrails in place.
They were developing it during the nuclear deal.
All
You
right.
don't know that?
Let's.
Iran, when Obama signed that stupid deal where he paid them billions and billions of dollars,
All
he
right.
thought he could bribe them. Listen to me. They were developing a nuclear weapon. That's how they got there. They got all of this uranium during Obama. You know that, don't you?
Let's.
Well, that's how they got there. Don't say this. They got there, they developed it during the Barack Hussein Obama, during his
And
administration.
they've escalated their development after the deal was
They didn't
wrapped up.
escalate
But
anything.
let's talk about the economy.
Let
I want
me
to
just
talk
tell you
about the
something.
economy.
If I didn't go in there with the B-2 bombers, they would right now have a nuclear weapon, and it could be that half of the world would be eradicated.
Yeah, there would be no meet the press. I keep telling you, Kristen.
Let me ask you about the economy. You got a strong jobs report today that beat
Halfway through, more than halfway through, level 9 hype train.
beat expectations.
By how much?
It-
Triple.
172,000 jobs
Triple.
created. And yet, gas is up, diesel is up.
It's all coming down as soon as the war's over.
Well, 70% of farmers say they can't afford fertilizer. What's
The
your
farmers
message
are doing very well.
Let me ask you, what is your message to farmers, many who support you, but who say
All of
they're
them support
struggling?
me.
Who say
Because
they're
there's
struggling?
nobody been better to farmers. You know, I gave farmers last term $28 billion because China took advantage and other people. And you know who paid for it? China. Last term. You know, I had a great first term. I had the greatest economy ever. And you know what? This one's blowing it away.
What's your message to farmers, though, Mr. President, who say they are struggling, they're struggling to make
Are
ends
you ready?
meet?
Are you ready? Am I allowed to talk? You keep asking questions and you don't listen to the answers. I love the farmers, and the farmers love me, and the farmers trust me. In the first term, I had something very similar. China and others were, and Canada, which was brutal, they were taking advantage of our farmers. They don't take advantage of it anymore.
Almost
I
there,
gave them
folks.
$28 billion split up.
1 minute
They never had a
remaining.
payday like that. And the farmers loved me, and they came back and they voted for me in record numbers. You know that. Nobody's ever even come close. Now, because of the fact that we had a choice, I had a choice to make. I could keep it going. The farmers were doing great. Fertilizer was very cheap. Everything was cheap. Gasoline was very low. Everything was very low. I could have kept it that way, but I said I have to take a little bit of a turn. The farmer's going to understand it better than anybody. We're going to have higher gasoline. We're going to have a little higher fertilizer, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to get rid of a nuclear weapon in the hands of very dangerous people. Excuse me, wait. It should have been done for 47 years. No president had the guts to do it. I did it, and I've done it. It's almost complete. As soon as that's complete, gasoline prices are going to drop like a rock. You know, I was in Iowa speaking about farms.
Like Iraq.
And it was before we attacked.
Level 10 hype train, folks.
And I was in Iowa, and the prices
Level
were $1
10
and
hype
85 cents a
train.
gallon.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk.
His courage on, together unbroken, we'll make heaven known.
That's right. Level 10 hype train. That's what you get, baby. That's what you get. That's what you get. You don't even want to know what you get for level 15 hype train, okay? I cannot believe there's an entire Wikipedia page. Oh my God, there's a Wikipedia page dedicated to We Are Charlie Kirk. That's incredible. I like to think that we played hot Christian songs. This was actually on a Billboard list. It charted. I'm filing a complaint for not respecting my religion as a Catholic. This is hateful, man. What is this? Why? The f does that have to do with anything? We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. Oh my God. This is the problem. This is the because the Pope said AI is evil. Yeah, the Pope makes an exception for this. I'll be honest. The Pope, much like Charlie Kirk, is also from Chicago. Can we get an EDM remix at level 15? Sure, but it's 21 seconds remaining and we're not going to make it to level 15 anyway, so I can make that promise. Sure. Hasanabi cover, please. Actually, not terrible if this streaming thing doesn't work out. What? My singing? My pipes? My freaking pipes, dude?
$1.91 a gallon. What?
This time, it wasn't the rain.
What? Wait.
What?
This time, it wasn't the rain.
I love when he does that. What? I'm glad he did it. Because remember I told you he was going to hit one of the what? He did it, but he didn't do the ear thing.
But an audio issue that forced us to pause the interview again. Are gas prices going higher or have they peaked?
They're going to come low, very low. They're going to go lower than they were before.
Have they peaked?
As soon, well, it depends. I mean, it depends where the war goes. It could be I'll have to give them a shot. And it could be we'll sign an agreement.
Give them
if we
a
sign
shot.
an agreement, it'll go down now. Otherwise, it'll go down after we're finished.
You have a new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh.
Yeah.
His first meeting in the role.
Yeah, also he accidentally said it's a war. It is kind of funny that he will just be like radically transparent and honest at times amidst a sea of lies. And I like to think in my headcanon that that moment of brief honesty is just on accident. Like he thinks he's still lying, but he ends up saying the truth because he just doesn't know what he's saying at all.
Is later this month. After this month's jobs report, economists now say it's possible the Fed may have to raise rates. Do you think that's possible? And what would your reaction be, sir?
So I'm of a different feeling. I think Kevin's fantastic, and I want him to do whatever he wants. I don't want to have a big influence on him. But we had a great report. We're doing great. And it's unfair that whenever you do great, they want to raise interest rates. It should be the opposite way. You know, if you go back 15 or 20 years, when you had good reports, the market went up. Nowadays, when you have good reports, the market goes down because they think they're going to raise interest rates. There's no reason to raise interest rates. The country becomes great. We built the country by doing great and having rates low. What they do is when they raise interest rates, they try and kill success. I don't want to kill success. We should actually lower interest rates. Now, if inflation comes, and you know, people live with inflation, but if inflation comes, what happens is you stamp it out. But success can kill inflation just like higher interest rates. What they do now is, like, we had great job numbers. You agree, right?
They beat expectations.
Not expectations, like 3 times. Okay, but you ready? What do? They say, oh, let's raise interest rates. It's the wrong thing to do. I would like to see rates get lower because we could build this into the greatest machine that the world has ever seen. But you can't do that when everybody immediately raises interest rates. So we had great job numbers. We're doing great. You know, we're building more factories. We have more money coming into our country right now from other countries and people than ever before. Wait a minute. What happens? I don't want to just kill it with high interest rates. Growth is the greatest thing you can have, and growth does not cause inflation.
Would you be upset if they raised rates? What is your message to them about that?
Living with Kevin, I have a lot of respect for him, but my feeling is that when a country is doing well, they shouldn't be penalized by immediately raising interest rates. They should actually be incentivized. You know, we have debt, we have other things, we have things we want to take care of. I want to go bigger on the military, I really do. If we do what I'm saying, this will be a beautiful, well-oiled machine like you've never seen before.
And when we come back, President Trump defends his controversial plan that could give payouts to January 6th rioters.
My former friend who's MAGA argued that it's not a war, even though Trump has called it a war before, because the president cannot declare a war. It's incredible cope. He also said it doesn't matter that Trump is implying a third term because he will not be able to do it because of the Constitution. I found that to be utterly ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I like that you said your former friend because just so you understand, when it does happen, I'm not even saying if, when it does happen, he will defend it. But I think you know that already. At this point, arguing with MAGA on facts is very stupid. They do not live in a facts-based universe. They live in an alternative universe where the facts are made up. And one day Trump says the sky is blue. They say the sky is blue. The next day Trump says the sky is red. And they say the sky is red. Sometimes Trump says the sky is both blue and red at the same time. And as soon as Trump says it, they believe it. It's a cult. That's precisely the reason why when Donald Trump said he was going to fix the inflation crisis and never did, all these guys shut the up about it. Or they get mad about it, but they don't know like what the real reason is. That's why when Trump said no new wars and then started a bunch of other wars, they're like, oh, well, you know, he's not militarily starting wars. He's militarily ending wars. I mean, the best example of this was during Liberation Day. Breaking. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accepts request from U.S. President Donald Trump not to risk. Oh, shit. I still think it's theater. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is a huge, if he follows through on this, it's boss call. It's boss call. Unbelievable levels of deterrence achieved by Iran means Donald Trump is actually that desperate for a ceasefire that he's willing to slap Israel in the mouth. We'll see if Israel keeps bombing Beirut. But you do understand. Remember when people were mocking your one phone call is what it takes? I mean, that always exists. I'm disputing whether or not this is real. But yes, of course it's real. It is one phone call. See, listen. This is a huge development. Okay? Because Iran bitch slapped Israel today. Straight up. Israel thought that they could get away with bombing Beirut, and then Iran would not actually bomb Israel. Iran straight up opened fire on Israel. Obviously, Israeli society now wants to retaliate very, very aggressively. Okay? If Trump actually restrains Israel right now, at this moment, that means he is that desperate for a deal. Or, the stupidest option of all time, Trump simply wants to attend the game at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night, and that's the reason why he's telling Israel to hold off until he watches the Knicks game, Game 3, and then he'll be like, you can go ahead, you can shoot Beirut now. This means that Iran can literally get away with hitting Israel if Israel chooses to hit Beirut again. And America won't do anything about it, and as a matter of fact, America will tell Israel to stand down. That's a big deal. Once again, total and utter vindication in terms of my analysis on the matter. Mr. Contingencies, I want to know where he is. Friend of the show crying. Why are we turning on Israel and Netanyahu tonight? Wow. We'll see. We'll see if we actually are. If this isn't a world war, then what turns a regular war into a world war? Yeah, Master Sheikh is pissed. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if this is real or not. Only time will tell. But if real, this is a huge step.
Say people who say the federal government weaponized the legal system against them. It's been blocked by the courts, met with opposition from Republicans
and Democrats
in Congress and Democrats.
Excuse me, mostly Democrats.
Mostly
some
Democrats and some Republicans.
Some, very few Republicans.
Just to be very clear, are you backing off the fund completely, as your acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has said, or are you looking for another avenue to revive the fund?
Let me explain what the fund is. People have been hurt so badly by radical left lunatics that worked for the Biden administration and Sleepy Joe. They're vicious, they're violent, what they did to people. And of course, they went after me more than anybody else. They raided Mar-a-Lago and all the, they've lost everything over a fake weaponization of government. Now,
so
let me
are you
just tell
looking for a way to revive it?
Well, look, if it was up to me, I'd pay them the kind of money that they deserve. People have been destroyed. Lives have been destroyed. Many suicides. Think of it. People have committed suicide because a bunch of thugs went after them. So, me, personally, I think the weaponization fund is...
These guys just love releasing pedophiles back into the wild, actually. That's what it is. That's the truth. Some of these guys, okay, maybe they like them young, on the young side. There's nothing wrong with that.
Is a great idea. And so do many other Republicans. You have to get it approved. If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, I'd be disappointed.
All right, we're going to motor through this.
But you have to understand, people have been destroyed by crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have.
It's over. Vote Hub projects Nithya Raman will defeat Spencer Pratt for the second place in the LA mayoral race. Raman erased Pratt's election night lead as post-election ballots broke strongly in her direction, reflecting later ballot returns from Democratic voters across California. Spencer Pratt has been defeated. The evil has been defeated. Thank God. As I said time and time again since election night, the very fact that he was even in contention, red mirage or not, implied that there were hundreds of thousands of my fucking neighbors, most likely my immediate neighbors, that looked at Timu Trump after, 2 years of Donald Trump's madness and thought, we can go dumber than this. Okay? We should have a local version of this here in Los Angeles, California. That is blackpilling. Okay? That's genuinely blackpilling. There's been a lot of talk about how, this is a steal, stop the steal. Nobody knows who Nithya Raman is. Literally, it's so stupid. AJ Glickson, constitutional conservative, says, I'm very skeptical of fraud claims, but as someone who knows LA very well, and I'm not in the conservative bubble at all, interesting, constitutional conservative, fiscal conservative, socially conservative, always opinionated, not in a conservative bubble, I really don't see how Raman could have legitimately came in second over Pratt. Maybe because Twitter broke your brain, dumbass. I said this city hates Trump. The fact that Pratt got as many votes as he did is blackpilling enough. It's very funny that people think Bass and the establishment prefers a matchup with Nithya Raman over Timu Trump. Unlike Pratt, she actually has a higher chance of unseating Bass, which is true. This was Spencer Pratt's post earlier today where he said, remember everyone, we're still in the lead and we've got all the way till July 6th to keep counting. They're not the only ones who know where to find votes. Winky face. What does that even mean? I know you said not to take pics, but because Fox News is watching, but I'm doing my part. Oh, the mules. Oh my God. Why are you showing our mules, dude? The 3,000 mules, baby.
To see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
a guy like Bolton was a dirty
but
cop.
There's no evidence.
Wait a minute. Oh, you think Comey was a straight
people
cop?
who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No,
they
but
had
the people
FBI,
who assaulted police
listen
officers.
to me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around, they're looking always in this night. They weren't in. They were being ushered into the building.
Sir. There's no evidence.
You had a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000 people.
No, there's none. You know what you do? Try looking at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off the table?
Look at the tapes one time.
But 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled guilty?
Should they be exempt?
Because they told they were going to jail for 15 years if they didn't.
Should they?
They pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down.
Republicans are able to criticize cops? Yes. I mean, Republicans can do everything. If you have an R next to your name, and Trump has really abused this, but like even before Trump, if you're a Republican, you own patriotism, right? So you could basically say whatever the you wanted about cops, whatever you wanted about the direction America's headed. Because like, remember, if someone on the left, on the political left, or like to the left of, the center even, says, oh, America's headed down a bad direction, then every Republican collapses on you and says, oh, if you don't like it, leave. You just want this to be communist China. If you're a Republican and you say America's headed down a bad direction, we're turning into communist China, we got to stop this, everybody goes, yes, that's right. It's patriotic for you to say that. You can't criticize America from the left. You can only criticize America from the right. And the same goes for pretty much everything. Okay? Because like, think about how much Republicans hate America. What is one of the most American values? One of the most American concepts? Sure, white supremacy is on the one hand a very powerful force in this country. It's baked into our fundamentals. But also on the other hand, our diversity is immense. And yet Republicans love shitting on American diversity. It's the most un-American thing. Republicans get away with it. Trump can say cops are crooked, cops are pieces of shit, and nobody bats an eye. They say, nope, Mr. President, you're right. You're totally correct. God forbid someone on the center left says cops are bad. We should fix the system. We should fix the situation. Everyone's like, oh, you want cops to be, you piece of shit. Okay? That's just how it goes. This has always been the standard. And liberals, for the most part, also deploy and weaponize this exact same standard. You can always hit left. Liberals deploy this exact same standard to their left, to people like us, right? While they're on the receiving end from the Republican Party, they turn around without batting an eye and do the exact same thing to their left flank. Yeah, the right can't comprehend turning on Israel, but it's not even a turn on Israel. I mean, I think it's over, right? It's Jover for the Steyer bros. Let's watch the other baby meltdown.
They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going into the building.
You'd be okay with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office, what they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying, but
There's
let me
a
ask
lot
you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about Todd Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing but
not been
evidence.
presented
The election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now in
You've never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election was
California.
rigged.
Right now, it's look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California. It's
Yeah, but not in Los Angeles. They're lying. They're lying. They're taking the votes away from Spencer Pratt.
no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with
That's how they
it.
count
You know
the
why
votes
they're doing
in
that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
All I
that?
have to do is look. All I have to
But
do is look.
that's not
And I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people. And let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think
and
it's appropriate?
That's how they
that
count the votes in
Do you
California.
think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner?
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
This part is this. How old is the interview? I think it's from like 2 days ago or something. I don't know, but they just released it this Sunday. But it's so. I hate this. Dude, Republicans are such babies. Like, they really need to stop doing this. I was annoyed when, like, Blue Went On briefly entertained that as well when Donald Trump won. But we can't have a country with this, okay? Every time Republicans lose, they're going to complain and say that it's fake and throw a fit. And they're going to try to stop the normal electoral process from taking place. Like, I mean, holy they are actively... Trump on your subpoena on Fox News. We are Charlie Kirk Indian remix. Yeah, I think I'm not going to click on that. I hate that this is the new meta. Every time a Republican loses, oh, it was stolen. And Republicans have been doing this. It wasn't just Trump. It wasn't Trump. Trump definitely accelerated this. He definitely made it worse. I mean, he did January 6th. Obviously, it's probably one of the worst things you can do. But Republicans have been entertaining this, like, elections are stolen, you know, Mexicans are illegally voting nonsense for decades at this point. But this is probably the stupidest version of that argument because you're talking about a place that voted for Kamala Harris by like plus 53, I think. Like Los Angeles, California, Kamala Harris over Trump was like a plus 53 city, right? It's a deeply blue city. There's rich people, there's rich assholes here for sure. But that was 2 years ago, okay? Trump's popularity has diminished quite a bit since then. So the idea that like Spencer Pratt, Timu Trump was actually going to be able to like, as a literal Trump carbon copy, win this election or have a direct shot at it is idiotic. I lived in California for a couple of years. So I agree it's very annoying that the state takes so long to count ballots, but Spencer Pratt losing ground is not a conspiracy. It's totally predictable. California allows voters to send their ballots on election day. They have a week to get there, so some ballots that will still be counted have yet to even arrive. Left-leaning people are more likely to vote by mail. Right-leaning people, of which there are fewer in LA, are more skeptical of it. So it easily follows that more Pratt voters would vote at the actual ballot box. This is not rocket science. Maybe California's laws should change. A week after an election is a very long time to still be accepting ballots, and it damages trust in the process. But a registered Republican heading for a loss in one of the most progressive cities in the world is not a shocker. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't finish this fucking one
They're
video.
urging the votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
you play
continue.
right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
you know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd.
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about
elections
you
in
went
this
to
country,
court.
we're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked. And
Dog, you're the president. Who do you mean your elections? This is another thing that I'm confused by when he says like your elections are crooked. Dog, you mean our elections, right? Because you're the president right now. You are the beneficiary of the crooked elections. Did they go crooked in your direction this time? Was it too big to rig? He's so red. He's so mad. Oh my God.
Meet the Press is crooked,
But, Mr.
and so is
President-
ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat
I
in the
traveled
rain with
all
you.
the- I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be
We
great
traveled
with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we
Come on,
traveled
let's go.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Oh my God, he broke it. He stepped on it. Yo! What the? God, he walks like he pants.
I spoke with President Trump on Saturday, and we both acknowledged the complications during the interview posed by the rain. He agreed to sit down with me for another Meet the Press interview.
Oh my God, our president's a baby. I don't want to get all white feminist with this shit, but remember when in 2016, one of the major points that Trump supporters would constantly advance was Hillary Clinton is a woman and she's too emotional to be president. You didn't hear that much in the last election cycle. Perhaps it was because Trump had been president already and we knew exactly how emotional he is. Genuinely, he was like, oh, women are too emotional. We can't have Hillary Rodham Clinton be president. What if she has a period? And it's like, first of all, I don't think you have to worry about that. And secondly, that's insane. Yeah, women will lead us into war. Ay, ay, ay.